Good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Jessica Blum joining you from the 1011 Now Alert Center to talk about periodic rain chances through the rest of this week and maybe even potentially into early next week, which I think is just what everyone should want to hear after drought. And we've had wildfires headlining the news for much of March. And just with how dry that month was as a whole, it's nice to know that we've turned the tides here in April with a lot of rain and hopefully what'll be more soaking good rain for a lot of us across the state. But we don't need that all at once. We need, again, off and on rain chances, which is what we have in the forecast as we bring in our next big change headlines. Your active weather pattern continues through the weekend, if not, again, into next week, with several chances for showers, if not some rain and thunderstorms at times. And with this unsettled weather pattern, that's going to bring us some more wind as well, including what will be a windy overnight period into tomorrow morning, which will keep us warmer on Wednesday. As for satellite and radars, you're joining me here Tuesday evening just past 8 o'clock on April 7th. We're seeing the clouds thin out. It's nice to see the sun return for a little bit in what has been good, fairly cloudy days here to start out this week outside of what we saw on Easter. Maybe a few light showers, if not a few sprinkles over Omaha still remaining at this time, though a lot of the moisture we've seen on radar over the last 3 hours has been pretty negligible, and there are some more clouds moving into northern Nebraska. But a beautiful sunset here before us with temperatures in the middle 50s, still in the 60s in O'Neill at 65 degrees, and a beautiful sunset out that way. There's a glow to the Lincoln sky as well. In fact, tonight and tomorrow night will be your last two sunsets before 8 o'clock. And then we're looking at sunsets getting later than 8 p.m. So certainly a lot of light to the sky this late in the night, which is nice to see. Some cooler temperatures still hanging on in northeast Nebraska, just 39 degrees right now in Norfolk and Wayne. We did manage to get to 57 degrees here in Lincoln, but now starting to fall. As you can see, double nickels here in town, double nickels over toward York as well, but still around 69 degrees in Holdridge, 65 in Hebron, 66 degrees in Kearney, with a south wind that at times has been breezy here in Lincoln, and you can see in the Panhandle sustained around 10, 20, 25 miles per hour, with occasionally still a few wind gusts higher than 30 miles per hour out in the Panhandle. But tonight into tomorrow, ahead of a front that'll be moving through tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see the south winds in eastern Nebraska increase. It's one of those setups that a warm front's actually lifting through tonight into tomorrow, and then a cold front is going to move through the state pretty soon after that warm front brings us warmer temperatures in the morning. So as we see the warm front lifting, you'll see the winds are out of the south for a lot of us in central, eastern Nebraska, and at times could be fairly windy. You're looking at 8 a.m. gusts in the ballpark of 35, 40 miles an hour. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts, even late in the morning into the early afternoon. By noon, this front is in and around Columbus, continuing to crash south and east, and should be through much of southeast Nebraska as we go through Wednesday evening. And the winds behind that front, though out of the north, will be a lot lighter by tomorrow night. As we talk about, again, the rest of this week looking very active, wanted to show you what the 7-day precipitation potential continues to look like from now through April 14th. This map is... Wow, I was going to say this map is notorious for taking a long time to load. And then, of course, I'm getting ready to say that, and it loads for me right away. Interesting. Anyway, in southeast Nebraska, you can see most of the moisture is going to fall south of I-80 in southeast Nebraska, a good 3/4 of an inch to 1 3/4 inches possible. I know these models can be on the optimistic side, but it is nice to see some deep greens, if not some brighter blues and purples, meaning we've got a lot of moisture potentially to pick up over the next 7 days. Even in central and western Nebraska, 1/10 to a 1/2 inch is more than they've had in quite some time, so they'll take what they can get out of the next week, and even some blue trying to show up in and around Scottsbluff into the south. So let's get right to your 7-day forecast, because I think this shows you best what the precipitation chances are each day and what we're expecting for conditions. We've dropped the percentage for Wednesday. It doesn't look like a great chance for rain throughout the day, besides Wednesday night, which I'll show you. Partly cloudy skies, and again, the warmer day with temperatures overnight in the upper 40s, if not the 50s for a low, warming to the lower 70s here in Lincoln. Again, it will be windy with a wind shift in the afternoon. And then we're looking at 60s for Thursday and Friday. But Thursday, I think, is our next chance at some more thunderstorms, especially in southeast Nebraska as we go toward late afternoon, evening, and even Thursday night. So that's why you see the precipitation or pop chances really increase by Thursday, carry over a little bit into Friday, and then chances pick up again for this weekend. And we do get warmer over the weekend as well with more wind. So really, it looks like the more impactful days for weather looks to come from wind into Wednesday, and then rain and thunderstorm chances Thursday through the weekend and into early next week. So as we talk about rain and thunderstorm chances, we of course are keeping an eye on the risk for severe weather. It is not there for the rest of Tuesday. Tomorrow, there is a risk for severe weather in Kansas. You may have heard us kind of talking about over the last couple of days that portions of southern Nebraska were included in this risk, but we've been since shaved from it. So it is just Kansas under the marginal level 1 out of 5 risk, meaning they have some isolated storms that could be potentially threatening some severe weather. But the rest of southeast Nebraska is just in a general thunderstorm outlook, and much of that area is not going to see anything, will remain rather dry. A very interesting shape to the risk for severe weather on Thursday. I've kind of called it a boomerang, and the north end of that boomerang does clip southeastern Nebraska. Lincoln, technically not included in it, but areas to the south of Lincoln could see a low-end risk for severe weather in terms of a storm or two threatening some damaging wind and some hail. And then we also have to mention the fact that we are monitoring next Monday, April 13th, for a risk for severe weather. It's not common that you have a day 7 outlook for severe weather, but southeast Nebraska is in the vicinity of that risk 7 days out, so something we will continue to watch. But of course, this could change between now and then. Just wanted to give you an early heads up at some of the things, of course, we're dissecting back in the Severe Weather Center. As you look at satellite and radar, I've added temperatures to the satellite and radar map. We're at 55 again here in Lincoln, where the temperatures are warmer. They saw a little more sunshine today, namely in south central Nebraska. And again, still a few radar returns toward Omaha and Tacoma, but a lot of that probably not making it to the ground. Some of those areas did see snow overnight. I know I saw as high as about 1.5 inches on the Nebraska side of things toward Omaha, if not Tacoma and Blair, and then just into the western Iowa side of things, beyond the Missouri River, there were 3.5, 4-inch reports of snow overnight into this morning. So some certainly did see snow out of that band that set up overnight into this morning, but we knew Lincoln wouldn't see much, and we really didn't see much in the way of precipitation as a whole, only reporting about a trace overnight at the Lincoln Airport. But let's take you through time now to show you what we are expecting going forward. Tonight, again, the winds come up. Will turn partly cloudy for much of Wednesday by the afternoon hours. At this point, the front's making it through Lincoln, so we'll see the wind shift Wednesday afternoon, and then the winds will come down after being rather gusty out of the south in the morning. And there's your 20% chance at a shower or two in far southeast Nebraska, likely south of I-80 and south of Lincoln. So I wouldn't count on a whole lot here in Lincoln if we see much. Could be south altogether before some clouds could bring in a few scattered showers. Let me back that up before we get to Thursday night. That's Thursday morning. Some showers in the area with the cloud cover. Kind of a similar area, maybe just south of I-80, south of Lincoln and extreme southeast Nebraska that see some more showers. Maybe a little rumble of thunder in there early afternoon Thursday. But it's largely late in the evening, I think Thursday night, that we'll see another boundary kind of set off some more thunderstorms this time by Thursday night. And Skycast is showing 10, 11 o'clock and some pretty good coverage in these thunderstorms. There's 1 o'clock into Friday morning. 3 o'clock, they're still in the vicinity before moving out by 5 a.m. and before sunrise. So if you remember, The risk for severe weather is there. They have been changing this. I wouldn't be surprised if more southeast Nebraska was added to it. If not, and we kind of stay this way, the better risk for a severe storm. You can see south and east of Lincoln in this darker green shade toward Beatrice, Odell, Fairbury's in there, Schubert, Auburn, Falls City, Nebraska City. Maybe some gusts up to 60 miles an hour, maybe up to quarter-size hail. And that overall risk for severe weather. The lighter green shade, again, just to refresh your memory, just general run-of-the-mill thunderstorms are expected. So rumble of thunder, some lightning, maybe at times some heavy downpours. But your Schaefer's-Lincoln forecast for tonight has us around 49 degrees here heading into the 9 o'clock hour. We've seen the clearing sky. It should be quiet, but the wind will be coming up. So by 7 a.m., you're looking at sustained winds out of the south-southwest, 15, 25 miles an hour, gusts as high as 35, maybe 40 miles per hour. And our average low at this time of the year is now 37 degrees, but we'll be right around 50 instead. So we'll warm to the lower 70s tomorrow afternoon. And again, there will be that wind shift with the front coming through, but above average by about 10 degrees. Low temperatures tonight, for some, could get down into the 30s, namely in northeast Nebraska and out in the Panhandle. But a lot of us in southeast Nebraska and toward the Tri-Cities are going to be closer to 50 degrees for a low. Hour by hour, we'll be in the 60s toward the late morning hours, and then again the lower 70s by the mid-afternoon. There's your high temperatures across the state. Many will be in the 60s. I think we'll be a little warmer, though, in southeast Nebraska, especially as you see lower, middle 70s, and even upper 70s toward Fall City. Your wind forecast hour by hour here in Lincoln looks like this. Again, rather gusty in the morning time frame. Those winds will be actually decreasing behind the front, and we'll get some quieter conditions by Wednesday evening. But hold on to those hats tomorrow morning. Maybe add the little extra hairspray. Maybe put the hair up. Small dogs, hold on to their leash a little tighter so they don't blow away. But our rain chances, again, as I showed you with Skycast, do get better by Thursday night into early Friday. We'll have a couple seasonal days in the 60s, and then we'll be back to above average temperatures over the weekend with more wind, especially on Sunday, but temperatures warming too, lower, middle, upper 70s into early next week. And again, maybe another risk for severe weather that we're watching for next Monday. But that's really what I had to talk to you about this Tuesday to keep you on board with the forecast and what we're looking at here throughout the end of this week. And what is a busy weather pattern, but doesn't mean a washout by any means, just occasional rain chances that we will, of course, continue to track for you. Chief Meteorologist Brandon Anderson, of course, will have the latest in his 10 o'clock forecast, and we'll have meteorologist Brandon Rector cover you throughout the windy Wednesday morning that will be warmer. But until next time, hope everyone has a great Tuesday night.
1011 News is everywhere